Once you turn 80, these 5 things happen, whether you like it or not. Some will catch you off guard. Others will bring unexpected peace. But all of them, inevitable. If you're approaching 80, already there, or caring for someone who is, you've probably noticed, life doesn't just continue as it did in your 70s. Something shifts. Actually, 5 major things shift, and every person goes through them. No exceptions. Now, this isn't a list of scary health problems. These are changes in how you think, feel, relate, and live. Some might feel frustrating at first, but one of them, the 5th, might be the most liberating thing you've ever experienced. I want you to hear these changes not as warnings, but as preparation. Because once you understand them, you'll be ready to navigate your 80s with more clarity, more peace, and maybe even more joy than you thought possible. Welcome to Senior Life Insights, where we talk honestly about aging, with no fear and no sugarcoating. Let me know in the comments. Are you turning 80 soon? Already past it? Or watching for someone you love? Your experience helps others feel seen. Let's dive in. Thing number 1. Your energy and sleep patterns shift completely. The first major change at 80 isn't just about feeling tired. It's about your entire internal rhythm changing. Your body starts operating on a schedule that may feel unfamiliar, especially if you're used to late nights or high energy in the evenings. You might notice you're waking up earlier, sometimes before sunrise, and starting to get drowsy by 8 or 9 p.m. That's not a problem. It's your circadian rhythm resetting itself. At 80, your energy peaks often arrive in the morning, taper off after lunch, and dip sharply in the early afternoon. That 2 p.m. slump? It's more than real. It's your body asking for a reset. And it's not just when you're awake. Your sleep itself changes too. You may find yourself getting lighter sleep, waking up more often, or feeling less rested even after a full night in bed. That can feel frustrating if you don't know it's normal. Here's the key. This isn't something to fight, it's something to work with. The smartest thing you can do? Start designing your day around your body's new energy curve. Mornings are now your power hours. Use them for exercise, socializing, or anything that matters. Allow yourself short afternoon breaks without guilt, and stop pushing for late nights that no longer serve you. You're not slowing down. You're just running on a different, wiser clock. Thing number 2. Your social circle evolves dramatically. One of the most unexpected shifts at 80 is how your relationships begin to evolve. Some friendships fade, some deepen, and surprisingly, new ones emerge, often with people you never imagined growing close to. This isn't just about loss, though loss is part of it. It's about refinement. You start to care less about quantity and more about quality. Large gatherings may feel overwhelming, but an intimate coffee chat can feel like gold. You begin choosing who you spend time with based on how those people make you feel now, not just shared history. At this age, you don't have the energy for small talk or relationships built on obligation. You crave authenticity. And because your emotional bandwidth is more valuable, your mind naturally guides you toward people who truly get you. You might notice you're reconnecting with family in deeper ways, or forming unexpected bonds in new communities, like a book club, a volunteer group, or even a fitness class for seniors. These connections aren't random. They're based on shared values and a shared stage of life. And here's the beautiful part. The friendships you form now? They're often the most honest, supportive, and nourishing of your entire life. Have you experienced this? A shift in who matters most, a fading of certain connections, and a deepening of others. Thing number 3. Your relationship with time completely transforms. At 80, something profound happens. Your sense of time completely changes. Days might feel shorter, but every moment feels more precious. You no longer chase the clock, you question it. This isn't about urgency or running out of time. It's about clarity. You suddenly see what matters, and what never really did. You start saying no without guilt. You say yes only to what genuinely brings you peace, joy, or meaning. This shift isn't random. Psychologists call it a time perspective change. You're no longer living to meet expectations, not society's, not your kids', not your younger selves. You're living based on now, what fills your heart today. You might step back from things you once did out of duty, a club, a routine, even a long-held role in your family or community. And in that space, something beautiful emerges. You finally get to ask yourself, what do I want to do with my time? Ruby, 83, used to organize every church event. Now she spends Sunday mornings tending to her roses, and she says it's the most spiritual time she's ever experienced. This is the gift of turning 80, the ability to design your days around meaning, not momentum. What's one thing you've let go of recently? What's something new you've made space for? Thing number 4. Your memory and mental processing reorganize themselves. Here's something nobody tells you. Your brain doesn't just decline at 80, it adapts. Yes, your short-term memory may slow down. You might walk into a room and forget why you're there, or struggle to recall a name you just heard. That part is real. But it's not the whole story. Because behind the scenes, something remarkable is happening. Your brain is shifting gears, from raw data collection to deep pattern recognition, from trying to remember every little detail to understanding the big picture more clearly than ever. You don't just recall experiences, you see through them. You begin to connect dots between moments in ways you couldn't before. Life stops being a series of facts and starts becoming a story. Your story. And it gives you something younger minds don't have yet. Perspective. Take Carlton, an 84-year-old retired engineer. He doesn't remember every number like he used to. But when his son came to him with a work problem, Carlton didn't need specs. He spotted the solution instantly. Not because he remembered more, but because he understood more. Want to work with your brain instead of against it? Use calendars, sticky notes, reminders, offload the simple stuff. And reserve your mental energy for what you're truly great at now. Reflection, wisdom, guidance, creative thinking. Forgetfulness isn't failure. It's a trade, and what you've gained is often far more valuable. Thing number 5. You unlock a new level of freedom and authenticity. This is the one nobody expects, and it might just be the best part of turning 80. After a lifetime of doing what's expected, meeting responsibilities, and showing up for others, something shifts. Quietly, powerfully, beautifully, you stop performing. You stop caring about impressing people who were never really watching anyway. And for the first time in decades, maybe ever, you start living for you. This is the gift of 80. Freedom. Not the loud, rebellious kind, the honest kind. The kind that lets you dress how you want, speak your truth, and pursue passions you once put on hold. You begin to ask yourself, what do I want from this day, this year, this chapter? Take Constance. For 60 years, she played the role of the perfect minister's wife. Conservative clothes, polite smiles, quiet creativity. But at 82, she stepped out, literally. Bright colors, bold paintings, loud laughter. She started saying what she really thought, and the amazing part? Her family loved this version of her because she was finally real. This kind of authenticity is magnetic. You don't become selfish, you become whole, and that wholeness draws people in. So ask yourself, where are you still performing? What would it look like to let go of that script and just be? It's not too late. In fact, there's no better time. And when you embrace this level of truth, you realize turning 80 isn't the end of something. It's the beginning of everything that finally matters. Why 80 can be the most satisfying decade yet. By now, you've seen the shifts. Energy changes. Social circles evolve. Time takes on new meaning. Memory reorganizes itself. And you begin living with honesty, not obligation. But here's the truth most people miss. These changes don't add up to decline. They add up to freedom, clarity, focus, peace, and yes, deep, unexpected joy. At 80, life doesn't get smaller, it gets sharper. You stop scattering your energy in 1,000 directions. You stop worrying about what others think. And you start choosing, carefully, wisely, lovingly, how you want to spend the time you have. That means more meaningful conversations, not more small talk. It means investing in relationships that nourish you, not ones that drain you. It means waking up and asking, what matters today? Not, what do I have to do? Think of the 80s not as a conclusion, but as a distillation. This decade strips away the noise and leaves the music. It's when the roles fall away, and the real you shows up, experienced, wise, and finally free to live as you please. You've earned this chapter. Not just to survive it, but to savor it. And the most powerful part? You're now in a position to lead by example, to show younger generations what aging with purpose, humor, and heart really looks like. The best might still be ahead. Not in quantity, but in quality. Not in doing more, but in being more. And that might just be the greatest surprise of all. So now you know, turning 80 doesn't mean you're fading away. It means you're evolving. These changes aren't signs of decline. They're adaptations. Your body, your mind, your priorities, all reshaping themselves to match this new stage of life. And if you learn to work with those changes instead of against them, the 80s can become one of the most meaningful decades you've ever lived. Which of these 5 changes surprised you the most? Or maybe, which ones are already showing up in your life? Leave a comment below. Your story could help someone else feel seen, understood, and far less alone. And if this video helped shift how you think about aging, please share it with someone approaching 80, a parent, a friend, or even your future self. And don't forget to subscribe. We're building a space where aging is something to be understood, not feared. Because life doesn't end at 80. It refines, it simplifies, it begins again.